Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Happy Saturday to you and your family. We're taking a look, of course, here at Bitcoin. Correction, Matic. I just looked at Bitcoin, and we're going to obviously see best practice, big picture, help understand where we're going with this, because I have a lot of community members that are, I think they just recently got into Matic. They're kind of curious how much further it could go, and we just bounced off a key level support, so it seems pretty likely we're going to see continuation upwards, but we'll look at that and help identify what that may look like. Now, if you are new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I really do love teaching people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. My goal is to help you become a better trader. So again, CryptoCache.tech is a website if you want to have that for yourself. I have a trading academy. You can learn everything that I teach, as well as, of course, the signals that I send so you understand more specifically how to structure your trades effectively in the current environment and, of course, future environments, because you always got to be changing and adjusting. You can't stick to the same old pattern. But in truth, Bitcoin's in a range right now, and until it breaks that range, we can expect it to just continue, right? Matic is broken free from that, so to speak, and is doing very well, all things considered. It's not independent of Bitcoin, but mostly not codependent on Bitcoin, if that makes any sense. Anyways, take a look at that. CryptoCache.tech is a site if you're considering joining. Message me direct if you have any questions, of course. I have military and third world country discounts. Feel free to reach out. Thank you so much to you for your service if you are in the military. That being said, take a look here at Matic. All right, so simply put, on the daily, we broke through this previous resistance level. So there was a resistance level at about 68 cents that kept working the price action down. It came back up to retest that level a couple of days ago, and ever since then has broken through and effectively continues to retest and come upwards. Okay, so again, a lot of positivity there. Obviously, again, Bitcoin doing well helps this situation continue. But I have confidence that Bitcoin is going to probably continue to go higher from here. And in that sense, if we can break through that little resistance channel at 21,700 for Bitcoin, nice one-day candlestick closure, we're going to probably see Matic take off and start trending closer to 78, 83, or 90 cents. The next key level Fibonacci retracements. Taking a look at the RSI though, we got to understand and note here that on the daily, we are a bit on the overextended side. Okay, so in truth, even though we came up, got a reset at an 8 and we're up to a 4 now, RSI being right at 70, unless we can cleanly break through that, there's a decent chance we're going to see the price probably continue to progress sideways and up from here. Not necessarily a phenomenal dramatic increase, right? It's already done that to short squeeze out potentially right around 68 cents when it had like 2 really strong days here. So again, Matic isn't done yet, but it needs to kind of relax and calm down before it legs up again. Right? At least I'd like to see that. It doesn't necessarily have to happen because cryptocurrency has a tendency to just define laws of trading. But generally speaking, what goes up must come down, right? Now it does look like it's come back down, and keep this in mind: when you break through a resistance level, just like an all-time high, you'll see a price action come through here, come up, and then retest this level. So it'll continue to retest that level as a support instead of a resistance. Okay, so this not only Fibonacci retracement level, but previous resistance at 68 cents should prove to be the lowest point in which we'll see Matic go, unless Bitcoin drops its bottom. Okay, Bitcoin starts going sub 21, 20, 19,000, then yeah, you can expect Matic to correct itself. That dominance, so to speak, will recede. People will take their profits because, again, this is a profitable coin. Ethereum's the same way. You see a massive 4-hour candle that just got wicked way up, and there's a tremendous amount of profits being taken. And that just makes sense. It's par for the course. It's the way it goes. We're expecting the price to pull back, perhaps, but anyways, that being said, Matic does look pretty healthy here at the 68 cent mark as a strong support. We can also see we're testing 70 again on the RSI, so it's ideal for us not to pass that point, which is another reason why we shouldn't expect the price to explode from here, but if it were to continue to progress higher, it should allow the RSI to calm down and go up. So hypothetically, we continue to make higher lows and continue higher. I just wouldn't expect Matic to have a dramatic, parabolic type of increase. Like those things are less common right now than they were before, just based on the overall sense of little uncertainty in the market. Our fear, uncertainty, and doubt is still pretty low, or high if you want to call it that. We have a lot of it. That is something that's relevant and something you need to understand and acknowledge because it touches on every single altcoin. So again, just keep that in mind. We're not in the clear, but it's showing really good signs. And there's nothing here I really see that's disadvantageous. I mean, we even got a bounce off the MACD here essentially to give us a convergence, for lack of better terms. So in all actuality, we should see a continuation upwards, but I just wouldn't expect it to be dramatic. And then if we take a look at, did we look at TD sequential here? We didn't yet, but we came up to a 9 previously, and this is something just kind of acknowledge. When you get a 9 on TD sequential, I'll cover this I think in my last review with this, you can expect a pullback, and the fact that it didn't pull back lower than 68 cents speaks wonders. It's awesome. It's really good. It kind of reaffirms that support level, previous resistance, right? And those are things you want to try to recognize. So in all reality, we're looking pretty good here. Just keep in mind we're at a 9 on the hourly as well. So this push here could be at an end. It could be coming back down to retrace and continue upwards. Oftentimes what you want to look for when the price does come back down is to, at least stay above its most recent high. With this being the most recent high, we want this next low to be no lower than 72 cents. Okay, so preferably we retrace to 72 and continue higher. That would be ultimately the way to go. Again, no guarantees on that, but the bottom line is we need a reset. We're at a 9. We've been pushing up very strong for a short amount of, in a 9-hour period. So, it's up 6.24% from where it started 9 hours ago. And from its highest point, it was up 8.3%. Again, those standard deviation lines kind of contract, and you can only go so far outside of that, especially if you're looking at the volume weighted average price. You can see how much higher this essentially went. But generally speaking, it's one of those situations where we're not in bad shape. This is, even it's overextended, still likely going to continue higher as long as Bitcoin doesn't retrace significantly. So again, I would expect a slight correction from Matic, but probably not that dramatic. 72 would be an awesome entry. And then if we take a look at the cloud, this is also kind of corroborating what I'm talking about here, in just that, we've continuously stayed above the cloud. The cloud itself is averaging itself, at least the upper lead, right around 71 cents. So the price comes back down to bounce out the cloud, which is very common. That would also be a positive thing as well. If it travels into the cloud, you know better. Do not take a position. Wait for it to be either above or below definitively. But the lagging span is coming close to price action in a sense, if you consider the candle wick, but ultimately still fairly clear. So again, a slight retracement for the next few hours, followed by a consolidation effort to the upside, could very well put us in a position where the price will continue higher. So what I'm getting at here is that we've got a lot of signs that point up, more that are pointing up than down. So even though we have somewhat of an overextension on the hourly and the 4-hour, which we're seeing also from Bitcoin, we're at a nice key level support and we broke through a strong resistance. That to me is positive. The fact that we've consolidated very well in the last 24 hours at 68 to 72 cents is a fantastic situation. And if you kind of put a little trend line out here too, where we had this strong resistance here, at least on the hourly at 72, it's broken through that, and that could be the new support. Okay. So again, some really good stuff. I like to see I like to see this in Matic. It does show that it probably has a lot more potential to increase than decrease, just based on us being kind of over that key level support. So again, until this trend breaks, we can expect the price to continue sideways or up from here. Once again, if Bitcoin does break 21,700 is a nice candlestick close and then progresses to break its 50-day simple moving average on the daily, we're going to be in really, really good shape here for Matic to see it probably take off to hit these upper Fibonacci retracement levels of 78, 83, 90, possibly even 105. So again, some really good stuff here, of course. I don't expect this to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours, but I do feel like we should see a repeat of this right up here, very much a very similar case. So I would speculate the next month we should see somewhere in the range of $1 from Matic, under the impression Bitcoin doesn't drop its bottom. Again, it always has to come with that clause because Bitcoin controls the market. And with Bitcoin dominance being down, altcoins like Matic, Ethereum, and a handful of others, I think Arweave, and even ICP, there's some strange ones that are kind of emerging right now. I'm interested to check out. But generally speaking, this one's showing some positive signs. And it even though it's not fully independent of Bitcoin, again, it's not extremely codependent on it. And those are things you try to identify when you're looking at altcoins. How is this altcoin separate? How is this Bitcoin pairing working well against the value of Bitcoin? Those are things you try to look at. So anyway, that's what we're looking at here. Hopefully this made sense and I described this correctly and you learned as much as you possibly could today. Feel free to continue becoming an awesome community member if you are one, or maintaining that, of course. But if you do want to become one, CryptoCache.tech is a site, link in the description below. We have over 200 active members right now. This is a really positive, collaborative environment. I have a trading academy, community, and signal group. So I just pretty much everything, in my opinion, to help you, get you on track. All right. So thanks again for all your support, wonderful feedback I've received. You're amazing. Greatly appreciate you. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. You take care now. Bye-bye.